guys, this is Lord Chael speaking on behalf of our show sponsor, Established Titles. Established Titles is a project based on a Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lords and ladies. They allow you to buy as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land so you can officially call yourself a lord or a lady. Established Titles is not just about your ego. You also get to do some good. In addition to your new fancy title, Established Titles supports global charities like One Tree Planet and Trees for the Future to help with the afforestation effort. Your title pack gets you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land in a private estate in Scotland. Your certificate features a unique plot number where you can see the exact location of your land. And right now, Established Titles is holding 200 plots of land right next to mine. So come join me in the Bad Guy Inc. Kingdom. Getting this certificate even allows you to officially change your name to Lord or Lady. Put it on your credit card, put it on your plane tickets, or if you're so inclined, put it on your dating profile. Makes for a great last minute gift, and there's even couples packs that come with adjoining plots of land. Established Titles is having a great limited time sale. Go to establishedtitles.com/Chael to save 10% off today. Remember to use the promo code Chael or just click on the link below. Dustin Poirier is better than I thought he was. I have thought, and you've heard me praise Dustin as one of the greatest to have ever done it. He's better than I thought he was. He's better than just one of the best that's ever done it. He puts out performances, and on any given night, he is the best, truly. I mean, I could give that same compliment to Conor McGregor. You see how those go. So, go over to Chandler. And I just love the way Chandler fights, right? Chandler's everything that you want to be if you were a fighter. I really like to give him the comparison to Justin Gaethje, because everybody loves Justin Gaethje. What's John Anik say? That Justin Gaethje is your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. But that's true. That's a real thing. Like, there's a guy like that every era. There was a guy called Big Nog. Big Nogueira. There was 2 of them. And he was that guy for a period of time. He was the guy that no matter how bad it got, and what that means is, if you're a fighter, and you know what you can take. You know at what point you're headed to the back, right? Everybody's got a limit. And what Big Nog would do is you would watch him, and he would reach most fighters' limits, and he'd keep going. That's what Justin Gaethje does, but that's what Michael Chandler does. And I'll tell you what, I haven't the foggiest idea what Chandler's holes are. I didn't know what Chandler's weakness was the night he lost to Oliveira. I don't know what Chandler's weakness is the night he lost to Gaethje. I can tell you his output was a little bit less than Gaethje's, but not to the point it was a weakness. I can't tell you what Chandler's weakness is now that he's lost to Poirier. I mean, these are close to perfect performances. You ever want to talk about we're splitting hairs? Mike Dolce, nutrition guru. But Mike Dolce would cook for guys. He would come out of their house. He would cook. He would put them on a plan. He'd have them, how much you're going to sleep. If he wanted you to eat something at 5 in the morning and you were planning to sleep till 6:30, he would wake you up, have you eat it, then you could go back to sleep. But it was very important at what time you got your protein and what time you got your carbs. I'm just citing this for you because Dolce himself, this was his business. This is what he did for a living. And he himself would tell you, we're splitting hairs here. He would say that. He would say, you've got to understand what I'm going to do for you. This whole camp, this whole time that I'm here, all this preparation that I'm going to do for you, I'm going to make this much, just a sliver of a difference. But at the level you're at, it's a game of slivers. And I always appreciated that when Dolce said it, and you hear about all those little things add up. And I bring that to you because talking about Chandler still. If I was to go back to Oliveira, where he was this close to being the world champion, I don't know if you guys fully remember that. He put Oliveira down, and the referee moved. The referee moved to stop the fight and caught his own momentum. Michael Chandler was way, way less than a half a second away from being champion of the world. Draws into Justin Gaethje, which is a bad night for anybody, and they go out and they go to absolute war. Then you got to understand he does the same thing last night with Poirier. And Michael Chandler, who ends up losing this fight on the ground, but excuse me, this is a two-time Division I All-American, okay? This is a guy that got his college paid for. That's the professional ranks of wrestling. Please don't tell me he has a deficit on the ground. There's a position that he got caught in last night. The way that Chandler was throwing strikes is what Adesanya and Pierre wanted to do. Now, the reason I use that reference is Adesanya and Pierre are as good as strikers as the sport has ever seen. Not just that are in the sport now. They're as good as our sport has ever seen. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to go out there, bite down, find their target, and let it go. They couldn't do it because they'd have just a little ounce of a fear of the takedown. Or possibly another way to say it, a respect for the takedown. Chandler doesn't give a damn. Go ahead and try to take me down. He was that positive. He was that confident in his takedown defense. He was throwing everything. Fabricio Verdum used to do this. In reverse, Chandler is so confident you can't take him down. Verdum wanted you to take him down. But it completely changes the striking. And so now, if I'm saying all these great things about Chandler, and they're true, and they are, and if I talk about his grit, if I talk about his determination, if I talk about his drive, I talk about his level of condition, I praise him on all of those things, and I should. Now is when you can begin to understand how good Dustin Poirier looked. When I'm telling you about the shots that Chandler is throwing, and he did, and they landed, but they were hitting the gloves. See, Dustin Poirier doesn't play down here. Dustin Poirier doesn't try to look good. He doesn't try to get oohs and ahs from the crowd. He throws lefts and right hands. Every now he'll put a kick in. He moves his feet. I hit you and you don't hit me. It's extremely basic. It's the basics that win the championship, man. I'm out there watching Poirier. He's handling the wrestling, but two-time Division I All-American. Gets put in that position, protects from ground and pound, regroups in between rounds, and comes out and flips the script. He ends up the one in the dominant position when they're on the ground. Does that sound impressive? Because for some of you, it might not. You'll go, well, yeah, Chael, that's a mixed martial arts fight. Do you ever watch gymnastics? Any of you that said, yes, I watch gymnastics, let me just speak for you. You watch gymnastics in the Olympic Games. Every 4 years, NBC features it in the Olympic Games. That's when you watch gymnastics right now. If you ever then see a different level of gymnastics, it could be the NCAA, or it could be your children, or it could be a local state championship. It will look nothing like the frame of reference that you have for gymnastics. It won't look anything like, it's a different level. So I share that with you when you see these guys in the octagon, when you see these guys out there fighting in Bellator and one championship, and you think that's normal. I mean, you think it's normal to the point that I'll overhear guys in the bar. I'll overhear guys at the Roseland or at the Wild Wings if I'm out in public watching a fight. Talking about, I could do this. I could finish this match. I could go, and it looks like that, right? These great ones, they make it look simple. And it's very important that you realize what you witnessed, though, right? It's very important that Dustin Poirier gets his credit. Because Dustin Poirier right now is not on a mission to be champion. And to become champion is very realistic. That's not the statement I'm making. Dustin Poirier's number one goal right now is not to reclaim his championship. He wants to go into a category. It's the elite of the elite. It's a category so high that when you start training and you set out to do this story, you don't even set a goal to do. You set a goal to be champion. You set a goal to be in the UFC. You set a goal to be in Bellator. You set a goal to be world champion. Right, hold on. There's one more category above champion. One category. And that is when the outcome of your fight doesn't matter. When you get to a level of stardom, I know that's a disgusting word, right? Poirier is a regular guy. He won't love that I'm using that word. But when you get to a level of popularity where the outcome of your match no longer matters, it would not matter if you won or lost. The next time you come out, the crowd will be sold out and you will be in the main event. Even if you're coming off of a loss, your next fight will be the main event. Now you're talking about Conor McGregor status. Now you're talking about Nick and Nate Diaz. You're talking about George Masvidal, at least lived here for a period, right? I mean, it's hard to stay there. I think Masvidal is still there. But I'm trying to prove a point. That's where Poirier wants to go. He wants to do super fights. He wants to do massive fights and the title be damned. He's already got one. He's got one sitting on his mantle at home. He will go down in the record books if he never fights again as the champion of the world, which he was. He wants to go into this different realm. It's not his choice. It's yours. And I'm only bringing this to your attention because I think we all do understand there is an integrity that we must have as a fan, where we must pay our dues. I mean, at the end of the match, you shake hands, you walk away, and you live with the result. And it's important that you know what Poirier wants. And I'll leave you with one final thought, because I would like you to support him. It's the right thing to do, and he's earned it. But I'll leave you with one final thought. He is willing to do this at 155 or 170. When you heard Dustin Poirier tease that he might go fight at 170, he was not revealing what most of you thought you heard, which is he was leaving 155. He was entering a new weight division. That's not. He was revealing he will also do matches at 170. Go match me up. So if you guys have that power of the pen, leave in the comments. I want to read what you say. You got the power of the pen on Dustin Poirier, and you got two weight classes, 55 and 70. Who are you putting him against?